Picture this. You are in the middle of a sharp argument. Your heart is beating fast. You open your mouth to snap back. In that very second, you say the one thing that ruins the relationship forever. Most people have been in that spot. I have, and I am sure you have too. What if I told you there are exactly 8 moments where staying totally quiet is the most powerful and influential move you can make? It is not just about being polite. It is a smart way to weaken the other person's position. Today, I am going to share those 8 moments and explain why being quiet wins every single time. Before we begin, think about the last time someone made you angry. Did you speak up right away, or did you stay quiet? Pay attention to how you feel right now as I show you these 8 situations, because one of them will really wake you up. Let's go. When someone opens up and shares their deep feelings or a painful memory, your first thought might be to jump in with advice or a similar story. You might want to say it will be okay or tell them what they should do, but that is the quickest way to make them stop talking. Real honesty is rare. When people share pain, loss, or shame, they are not looking for a fix. They are checking to see if it is safe to be honest with you. The moment you start talking about your opinion or your own life, you send a message. It becomes about you instead of them. They feel ignored, the trust breaks, and they will likely never open up to you that deeply again. Being quiet, however, is the best way to show you accept them. It says that you are there and can handle whatever they are feeling. You give them a space where they do not have to hide or change their words. That silence gives them permission to speak more and process their thoughts without feeling judged. Your quiet presence acts like a mirror. They see their own feelings clearly without any distractions. If you have ever regretted speaking too soon, hit the like button so more people learn this power. Studies on listening show that people who stay quiet and pay attention during emotional moments are seen as much more caring and trustworthy. The brain sees steady eye contact and silence as signs of safety. In that silence, you are not just doing nothing. You are actively giving them your full attention without any personal goal. Most people never get that gift. When you get good at this, people will come to you when they are struggling because they know they can be totally honest with you. When someone attacks you or points out your flaws, your natural reaction is to defend yourself or fight back. That is exactly what they want you to do. The moment you speak, you give them control. You make the fight worse and turn a mean comment into a big battle where nobody thinks clearly. Silence ruins their entire plan. By staying quiet, you refuse to play their game. You do not give the fight any fuel. Most attackers want to see your anger or hurt. When they do not get a reaction, they start to feel uncomfortable. Their voice might get louder or their logic might get messy. They start to repeat themselves or try to take back what they said. To anyone watching, they look out of control, while you look calm and strong. This is not about hiding. It is about taking charge. Your silence shows that you have total confidence. Their words do not bother you because they do not have power over you. It forces them to face their own mean behavior without getting the satisfaction of a reaction. Over time, people learn that attacking you gets them nowhere. There is no drama or victory for them. They either stop or become much more careful around you. The real power happens later. When things calm down and you finally choose to speak, your words have much more weight because you showed that you do not need to hurry. You respond instead of just reacting. That calm control makes you very hard to rattle. When you are very angry and your heart is racing, your brain is not working right. The part of your brain that thinks logically shuts down while your body fills with stress. In that state, whatever you say will likely be mean or something you cannot take back. Most people speak anyway. They say things meant to cause the most pain. Later, when the anger is gone, they have to look at the damage they caused to a friendship or their own reputation. Regret is painful because those angry words do not represent who you really are. If you have ever lost your temper and wished you had stayed quiet, leave a comment. Silence in that moment acts like a safety switch. It stops the explosion. By refusing to talk, you stop the emotion from coming out and let your body calm down. Just keeping your mouth shut or taking a slow breath helps your brain start thinking clearly again. After a few minutes, you can ask yourself if what you wanted to say is true or even necessary. People who can control themselves like this earn a lot of respect. Others notice your self-control and are careful not to push you, knowing they won't get a wild reaction. Instead, they see someone who chooses their words carefully only after the anger has passed. This builds a strong sense of authority. When you think someone is lying to you in a serious talk, your first move is usually to call them out or ask a lot of questions. That often fails. It makes them defensive and gives them time to fix their story. Silence changes everything. After you ask a tough question, just stop talking. Do not nod or make any noise. Just keep looking at them quietly. Most people hate that kind of silence. The average person can only stand a few seconds of an awkward pause before they start talking to fill the gap. If you want to know how silence beats a liar every time, type yes. Liars are very weak in these moments. They start wondering if you caught them or what you are thinking. To stop the tension, they talk more and add extra details. With every extra word, they make mistakes or say things that don't match up. Experts know that the longer you stay quiet, the more likely the truth will come out. Professionals use this because it uses the other person's own nerves to find the truth. Silence is free and works on almost everyone. When you use it, you don't have to hunt for lies. The liar will eventually give you the proof themselves. In any talk about money or jobs, a hidden power struggle starts the moment a price is mentioned. Most people feel like they have to answer right away. That rush is a weakness. The first person to talk after a number is given usually loses some power. Silence after an offer is great leverage. You state what you want, or they give you their offer, and then you just stop. Do not say it sounds low or that you need to think. Just stay quiet and calm. The tension builds on their side. They start to worry that their offer was bad or that you might walk away. To fix the awkward feeling, they often start talking and explaining why the price is fair, or they might even offer more money without you saying a word. Good negotiators use this because humans generally dislike awkward silence. Research shows that the person who can wait through the longest pause usually gets a better deal. Silence shows you are confident and not desperate. It shows you know your worth. This can save you a lot of money or help you earn more with very little effort. It makes the other side feel like they need you more than you need them. When someone starts bragging or showing off to get a compliment, they are looking for a quick ego boost. Usually people give them what they want by saying something nice. That just keeps the cycle going and makes you look like you are beneath them. If you are still watching, you know this works. Right now, pause and write down which of these situations you have struggled with the most in your phone's notes. Then type that you are committing to silence in the comments. Silence stops them from getting the praise they want. Do not smile or say anything. Just look at them neutrally. Very quickly, they will feel uncomfortable. They expected you to be impressed, but you gave them nothing. To fix the void, they will keep talking and making the story bigger, which just makes them look desperate. Others will notice how hard they are trying, and their status will drop. Share this so others stop giving away their power. This is about showing that your respect must be earned. Over time, people who brag will learn that they won't get anything from you. Meanwhile, you look like someone with quiet confidence who doesn't need to show off. People will value what you say much more because you do not talk just to fill the air. When you are in a group and people start talking about a topic you don't know well, the common move is to say something anyway so you don't look left out. That usually backfires. You risk saying something wrong and losing respect when someone who actually knows the topic corrects you. Silence protects your image. By staying quiet, you don't have to pretend to be an expert. Instead, you can just listen and watch. You see who actually knows what they are talking about and who is just talking. You collect information while nobody notices you are quiet. The benefit comes later when you finally speak after learning enough to say something smart. Your words will have more power. People will think that when you do speak, it is worth listening to. Your restraint shows that you are careful with your words. Over time, this builds a reputation for being capable. People will value your rare comments more than the constant talking of others. Staying quiet here turns a weakness into a strength. You learn faster and gain more respect without having to prove anything. When someone is venting about a problem, you might want to give them advice. You might tell them what you would do. It feels like you are being helpful, but advice they didn't ask for often feels like judgment. You are basically saying they aren't smart enough to fix it themselves. Even if your advice is great, the timing is bad. They are usually just looking to be heard, not fixed. When you give an opinion they didn't ask for, you make the conversation about you. They might end up resenting you and stop sharing things with you. Silence keeps the relationship strong. It shows you respect their ability to handle things. You give them the space to think and find their own answers. When they finally do ask for your opinion, it will mean much more because they actually want it. Until then, being quiet just shows you are there for them. People remember that as true care. These 8 moments are where most people lose their cool or show their weakness. Every time you speak when you should be quiet, you lose power. Every time you stay silent when you want to react, you gain power. Silence is not empty. It is a strategy and a way to show you care. When you master these moments, you stop just reacting to life and start controlling it. People will notice the change. They will be more careful with you and listen more when you do talk. You become a calm leader that others look to. Start today. Pick one situation and try to stay silent next time it happens. One pause at a time, you will build a strong presence that words alone can't create. Silence is the ultimate form of power. Use it well. Let me know which of these you struggle with most and subscribe for more. Building on this, you must realize that silence is not just a tool for social gain. It is a way to protect your inner peace. Think about the 9th situation. When you are tempted to explain your personal dreams or big goals to everyone, your instinct is to tell people your plans to get a rush of excitement or to feel like you have already started. But when you speak about your goals too soon, you lose the drive to actually do the work. The praise you get from others makes your brain think, the job is done. Staying quiet about your big plans keeps the fire burning inside you. It allows you to build in the dark so you can eventually shine in the light. When you stay silent about your moves, your results will eventually do the talking for you. This kind of silence creates a mystery that makes people respect your progress because they did not see it coming. The 10th situation is when you are caught in the middle of gossip. It is very easy to join in when others are talking badly about someone who isn't there. You might feel like you are bonding with the group, but you are actually showing everyone that you cannot be trusted with secrets. When you refuse to add your voice to the rumors, you send a clear message. You show that you are a person of high character who doesn't need to put others down to feel important. The people around you will notice that if you don't talk behind someone else's back, you won't talk behind theirs either. This builds a level of trust that is impossible to get any other way. Silence in the face of gossip is a shield for your integrity. It keeps you out of petty drama and ensures that your name is never linked to the messy words of others. The 11th moment is during a time of great success or victory. When you win big, the urge to shout it from the rooftops is huge. You want to make sure everyone knows how hard you worked and how much better you did than the rest. But talking too much about your wins can often look like pride and make others feel small. True winners know that the most impressive victory is the one handled with quiet grace. When you let your success speak for itself, you look much more powerful than someone who is constantly bragging. Humble silence after a win makes people want to celebrate with you rather than feel jealous of you. It shows that you expected to win and that you are already looking toward the next challenge. Finally, the 12th situation is when you are simply wronged. Many people try to talk their way out of a mistake by making excuses or blaming others. They think that more words will hide the error. In reality, the most respected move is to simply stop talking, accept the mistake, and fix it. Using silence to own your faults shows a level of maturity that most people lack. It stops the argument from growing and allows the focus to move toward a solution. When you stop defending a mistake, you take the wind out of any critic's sails. You show that you are more interested in the truth than in being right. Mastering these moments of silence turns you into a person of deep influence. You become someone who moves with purpose rather than someone who just reacts to noise. People will begin to sense your strength even before you say a single word. They will see that you are the master of your own mind and your own tongue. This is not about being cold. It is about being intentional. It is about knowing that your words are valuable, and because they are valuable, they should not be wasted. Start practicing these silences today and watch how the world changes its response to you. The 13th situation happens when you are faced with a choice that feels rushed. Others may be pushing you for an immediate answer, trying to force you to commit before you are ready. Your natural urge is to say something just to stop the pressure. But the most powerful thing you can do is sit in the silence. By not speaking, you take back the clock. You show that you will not be moved by someone else's timeline. This quiet pause forces the other person to wait on you, shifting the balance of power in your direction. It gives you the clarity to see the situation for what it really is, rather than what they want you to see. People who can handle the silence of a long decision are rarely cheated or tricked. The 14th moment to stay quiet is when you are observing a conflict between two other people. It is very tempting to jump in as a judge or to take a side to feel involved. However, when you insert yourself into a fight that isn't yours, you often end up becoming the target. By staying silent and watching, you learn the true nature of the people involved. You see who loses their cool and who uses low blows. This information is valuable for your future interactions. Silence keeps you neutral and protected. It allows you to be the person who brings peace later on, rather than someone who added to the noise. You become the observer who understands the whole picture, while everyone else is blinded by their own side of the story. The 15th situation is when you are in a beautiful or significant moment. Sometimes words actually ruin the experience. Whether you are looking at a sunset, finishing a difficult task, or standing in a place of history, the urge to narrate it or post about it can take you away from the feeling itself. Silence allows you to actually live the moment. It deepens your own connection to your life. When you don't feel the need to describe everything, you show that you are satisfied within yourself. You don't need the external world to validate your experiences. This kind of inner quiet builds a type of happiness that doesn't depend on what others think or say. The 16th and final moment for silence is when you have already made your point. Many people keep talking even after they have won an argument or explained a concept. They repeat themselves because they want to make sure they were heard. But by talking too much at the end, they actually weaken their own message. Once you have said what needs to be said, stop. Let your words hang in the air. This gives the other person time to think about what you said and lets the weight of your message sink in. The most memorable people are often those who know exactly when to finish. They leave the room or the talk with a sense of finality that leaves an impression on everyone else. When you combine all these moments, you create a life built on self-control. You are no longer a person who is easily triggered or pushed around. You become the person who chooses when to engage and when to hold back. This mastery over your speech is the same as mastery over your life. People will start to look at you differently. They will see a person who is deep, thoughtful, and incredibly strong. Your silence will become a tool that opens doors, ends fights, and builds lasting trust. It is the greatest skill you can ever develop. The 17th situation arises when someone is trying to provoke you with a petty comment or a small insult. They are testing the waters to see if they can get a rise out of you. Usually these people are looking for a back-and-forth exchange to validate their own importance. When you choose not to reply, you make their comment feel small and unimportant. Your silence acts like a wall that their words simply bounce off of. It shows that you do not value their opinion enough to even give it a thought. By staying quiet, you keep your dignity intact and let them sit with the realization that they couldn't get to you. This builds a reputation of being someone who is above the noise. The 18th moment is when you are in a position of leadership and your team is brainstorming. Your first thought might be to lead the way with your own ideas to show you are in charge. However, if you speak first, you might accidentally stop others from sharing their best thoughts. They will often just agree with you because you are the boss. By staying silent and letting everyone else speak first, you get to see all the different angles of a problem. You empower your team to think for themselves. Your silence shows that you value their input more than your own voice. Then, when you finally speak at the end, you can combine all the best ideas into one strong plan. The 19th situation is when you feel the need to complain about your hard work or your busy schedule. We often want people to know how much we are doing so we can get sympathy or praise. But complaining about your load often makes you look like you aren't handled or organized. Silence about your effort makes your results look even more impressive. When you work hard in quiet and then produce great results, people wonder how you did it so easily. It creates an image of natural talent and high efficiency. Instead of people feeling sorry for your stress, they admire your ability to stay calm under pressure. The 20th moment is when you are faced with a question you simply do not want to answer. You might feel a social pressure to give an explanation or make up an excuse, but you have the right to keep your private life private. A simple, quiet look or a short, "I'd rather not say," followed by silence is very effective. You do not owe the world an explanation for every choice you make. Mastering the art of not answering shows that you have firm boundaries. It teaches people where the line is and that they cannot cross it just by being nosy. Using silence in these ways is not about being mysterious for no reason. It is about being the owner of your energy. Most people spend their lives reacting to everything they hear and see. They are like a leaf in the wind, moving wherever the latest comment or situation blows them. By choosing silence, you become the wind itself. You decide where the energy goes. You decide which conversations are worth your time and which ones are not. This level of focus is what separates those who lead from those who merely follow. It is a lifelong practice, but every time you choose to hold your tongue, you get a little bit stronger. The 21st situation occurs when you are in the presence of someone who is grieving or going through a deep tragedy. Often, we feel an intense pressure to say the right thing to take away their pain. We search for words like "everything happens for a reason" or "I know how you feel." But in reality, those words can feel empty or even hurtful to someone in deep sorrow. Silence in these moments is actually the kindest thing you can offer. Just sitting with them without trying to fill the air shows that you are comfortable with their darkness. Your quiet presence is much more grounding than 100 sentences. It proves that you are not trying to rush their healing for your own comfort. The 22nd moment to stay quiet is when you are tempted to tell a secret that isn't yours to share. You might feel that having this information gives you a bit of social power or makes you the center of attention. However, once that secret leaves your mouth, your reputation as a trustworthy person is gone forever. Even if the people listening seem interested, they are secretly noting that you cannot be trusted. By keeping that secret locked away, you build a silent strength. You become known as a vault, a person who values loyalty over a quick thrill. That kind of character is worth more than any piece of gossip. The 23rd situation is when you are about to give a compliment that you don't actually mean. Sometimes we use fake praise to smooth over an awkward moment or to get someone to like us. But people can usually sense when a compliment is hollow. It makes you look dishonest and makes your future words seem less valuable. If you don't have something genuine to say, it is better to stay silent. This ensures that when you do finally give praise, it carries real weight. People will value your opinion because they know you don't just say things to be nice. You say them because they are true. The 24th moment is when you are browsing or posting on social media during a moment of high emotion. It is so easy to post a status or a comment when you are feeling slighted or excited, but the digital world never forgets. A post made in a moment of temporary feeling can have permanent consequences for your career or your friendships. Choosing silence online is often the best form of self-defense. It prevents you from giving the world a window into your temporary weaknesses. By staying quiet, you keep your private life private and maintain a sense of mystery that keeps you in control. These many layers of silence all lead to the same result: a person who is centered and difficult to manipulate. Most people are like open books with pages flying in the wind, but you become a closed door that only opens with intent. You learn that not every thought needs to be a word, and not every feeling needs to be a display. This doesn't make you a hermit, it makes you a person of substance. When you finally do choose to speak, your voice will cut through the noise of the world like a sharp blade. You will find that people lean in when you talk because they know you have filtered out the nonsense. You are not just talking, you are communicating with purpose.